Guys, we'll be making a new recipe for us. Maybe you tried it. It's completely new for us, but it's called Fudgy Biscoff Swirl Brownies. And this is Biscoff, just in case you've never seen it before. You could use this, or you could use the Trader Joe's cookie butter. They're pretty similar in flavor. We just have Biscoff. We're going to use that. So we're going to use 1 cup of brown sugar, a ½ cup of just regular sugar, 2 cups of chocolate chips, and we have a mixture of mini and regular chips, but just you can use either semi-sweet or regular milk chocolate chips. So 2 cups of those, ½ cup or full stick of butter or margarine, 4 eggs, which I have back there, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, a ½ teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of flour, just regular flour, all-purpose flour. And it says anywhere from ½ cup to a cup of the Biscoff spread. And like I said, you could use the Trader Joe's cookie butter, whichever one you're going to do. That's actually going to be used at the end. You're going to melt it, heat it up a little bit and melt it and pour it over top. I'll show you that. But we went ahead and started with 2 cups because we don't use a lot of this. 1 cup. Thank you. We don't use a lot of this. We've never found a good use for this. We don't like it just on bread, just eat it like a peanut butter sandwich. So this is a really good recipe. I hate to say it, to get rid of it, to use it in a recipe instead of just keeping it around the house. This recipe actually came from Biscoff.com, so it's one of their recipes. So the first thing I'm going to do, the first thing I did was I have a 9 by 13 baking pan, and it said line it with aluminum foil or parchment paper, and then it said to spray it down. So I've got my parchment paper, pushed it down as best I could, and then sprayed it down really good. I guess it just makes a really sticky bar. We'll see. The next thing I want to do is place both sugars in a bowl on my mixer and set it aside. So I'm going to put my brown sugar, which I have to measure out. Let me shift some of this stuff over. I'm actually going to go ahead and put the chocolate and the butter in this pan just to get it out of the way. Both cups of chocolate. I'm not going to turn it on yet, but like I said, just to get my bowl out of the way while I'm mixing up other stuff. I'm just going to put it in here. Actually, I'm going to cut this butter up a little bit. If you leave it in a big stick, it's harder to get melted. So, okay. So I'll be back once I can kind of get situated here, and I'll continue on from there. Got things situated now. I've got my 1 cup of brown sugar in the mixing bowl, and then I'm going to add a ½ cup of sugar, just regular granulated sugar, into the bowl. The bad thing about these containers is you have to really scoop to get it in there. And that's literally all you're going to do for right now. It's just going to sit in that bowl until we get our chocolate melted. So I've got my chocolate and butter, just like I showed you, pouring them in there, and I'm going to get these started melting. I'm going to turn them on about 4 for ours, or medium low. And I've got my plastic spoon, so because I don't want to scratch my cookware up. And I'm going to literally let this melt, and then I'll be back to show you what we do then. My chocolate is melted. I guess I could turn the slide on so you can see. Chocolate's all good and melted, and it just takes time. You just got to keep stirring it and stirring it. So what I'm going to do is turn the heat off, and I've got my bowl with my sugar over here, and I'm actually going to take this and just pour it right in there. So we're trying to scrape out as much as possible. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my mixer bowl on. And get my beater, or not the beater, the mixer paddle. And I'm going to start on just low speed until it starts getting all mixed in. And then we're going to add our eggs, vanilla, and salt. So again, I've got 4 eggs here. So I can do this without making a mess. And I have 2 teaspoons of vanilla and a ½ teaspoon of salt. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit to start mixing really good. Okay, and it needs flour. It needs 1 cup total. So what I'm going to do, I don't have a funnel on my mixer, and so I'm going to turn it off and raise it up. And I'm going to add it at a fourth of a cup at a time. That way I can kind of control it a little bit more. It's still poofed out a little bit, but it's okay. If I try to dump that in there with that on, it's going to just make a mess. And I'll probably get my spatula and just scrape down the edges here in just a second. Okay, last one. Start out low first. It looks like brownie batter. Okay, I'm going to scrape it down on the sides real quick. Very thick. I mean, wow, that's thick. You realize how thick that is until you're actually rubbing on it. I'm just going to mix it up for just another few seconds. That's it. I think it's probably mixed up as good as it's going to get. Okay. Now I'm going to take this and pour it into our parchment paper that's been greased. And I'm going to try not to make a complete and total mess. I don't think I mentioned my oven. You want your oven on 325 because it is going to be baked. You don't just leave it like this. It'd be an excellent chocolate drink, wouldn't it, if you were to leave it like this. I'm going to try to shove that down in there and get it to run a little bit better down the edges. Like I said, this must stick really bad. Or they wouldn't tell you to grease your parchment paper because it seems pretty sticky. Almost like a fudge in a brownie. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this in the microwave maybe 15 seconds at a time, stirring it. And when it gets kind of good and melty, then I'll be back. Okay, I've got my spread. It's pretty runny. They say to pour it in 3 strings. I don't know how well I can do that, but I'll try my best. I probably only used half of that, literally. But so take your knife and just run. This is just for decoration, really. Get this out too. Okay. Now this is going to go in the oven, again, 325 for, what did I say, 25 to 30 minutes?
35 to 40.
35 to 40 minutes until a toothpick in the center comes out clean. So I'm going to get in the oven and set my timer, and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. All right, here is, it is out of the oven. And these have been sitting and cooling for a little while. I haven't made homemade brownies, I don't think, ever. Like homemade without a box. I don't think I've ever made homemade brownies. So this will be different. They're very sticky. I mean, look at that.
It was nice that they came right out of the cake pan.
Yeah, she did take them. Tammy grabbed them and put them on the counter, but then they're very, 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 very sticky. So I'm wondering if we're going to have any luck. I'm going to have to scrape this off just to be able to cut them the rest of the way. There you go. There's a bite you can try. Isn't it that big?
Mm-hmm.
These might have to go in the fridge to cool off a little bit more. or to firm up a little bit. What do you think?
Okay.
But
They no, they taste. You can really taste that gingerbread.
oh, the cookie dough. I mean, Biscoff stuff.
Yeah. It's different from brownies because when you get a brownie, you're not used to having that flavor.
Right. The Biscoff cookie flavor.
Yeah, but it's good. It's different. It's not the same old brownies that you're used to. So it's good. It's different. It's good for Christmas especially to have that gingerbread flavor. You know.
Well, let me try one.
Yeah, that was a good enough bite for me. And they're moist.
Real good. Real thick.
They are, yeah. But don't you think that's a good Christmas brownie?
As it does have a gingerbread kind of flavor to them.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely taste that Biscoff in there. One thing I like about them is they're very, very sticky. It'd be hard to put them in a pan, like a tin or something to put them out and serve them. People will be like, that's just all over my hands, you know. I'm wondering if putting them in the fridge and cooling them a little bit will help that. So that's probably what we'll do. We're going to put them in a tin, put them in the refrigerator, and let them cool until we're ready to serve them. But I think they're good. I would give this recipe a try. If you like Biscoff spread, this is a really good use for it. If you don't know what else to do with it, it's a really good use for it.